Right, okay. We're going to pick our top 3 players of the season so far. I'm going to start with Dan Club, and then I'm going to move closer to around the desk.
Or just 3
to 1.
3 to 1. Okay. Cody Gakpo, number 3.
Oh.
Always been a massive Cody Gakpo fan, so he goes in at 3 for me. I have been really pleased with his form. Certainly of late, he feels like he's nailed down that left wing spot, and I'm just genuinely happy for him because and listen, we all just wax the look about Jurgen Klopp, and rightfully so, but he was messed around a little bit, for want of a better expression, I think, in terms of positional stuff. He played midfield, he was just anywhere, basically, but I've been really, really impressed with him. Second is the aforementioned Ryan Gravenberch, just been a revelation. Okay. Absolute revelation, sensational, and number 1. I mean,
yeah, it's giving
Mo Salah, isn't it?
Okay.
Number 3, Kelleher.
Damn it, James! Fuck off! I was going to. I've researched his clean sheet percentage.
What is
54 point something, I think.
To come in like that, and as far as I could see, make one mistake. One mistake in the
Newcastle.
whole time, Newcastle, just unbelievable to play in Europe like that, to play away from home, clean sheets, commanding, penalty saves. You can't ask for any more from a number 2. So he's my number 3. He's my 3rd pick. Gravenberch.
Fucking fuming.
So I'm so sorry. Why are you?
I'm glad I didn't say it. I thought about it. Made up. I didn't say it.
Really cross. Gravenberch number 2 for every reason you said. I think he's benefited hugely from having his role has been defined for him now. He's had a sit down with Slot at the beginning of the season and gone, right, this is what I require from a number 6. This is what I want you to do. And within those parameters, you can do all the wonderful Gravenberch things that we're learning about every week, but he knows what his role is. That's your bit, and he's doing it exceptionally well. And then, number 1, there can only be one, I think, really, is Mohamed Salah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll change from Kelleher, although I agree, James. I think he is definitely not best, but the top 3 most important players. Kelleher is in there this season because the season could have fallen apart, and it didn't. He was in goal for those Real Madrid and Manchester City games and stuff like that, wasn't he? I mean, just outstanding. So I'll go as number 3 then. Diaz.
Yeah, I'm glad someone's mentioned Luis Diaz.
I think he's got to go in there. Now, of his 8 Premier League goals, 4 of them have been like match winners, which is a huge percentage of. Mo's got 4 match winners technically, but he's got like 17 goals or whatever it is. Now, a match winner is termed, I suppose, in statistics as a goal you score like when you're drawing. So last night was classed as a Luis Diaz match winner because he scores the first when it's level.
Yes.
And we go on to win 5-0. So
really?
technically
That's
speaking,
ridiculous.
It is. there are a few times,
Yeah, that's
but
what
like,
you think I've heard. Yeah.
but they didn't score, so his was the only goal that mattered in that regard.
It was just football masturbation.
I really struggle with that.
Yeah, no. Listen, I do too. I didn't write the rules.
No, fair enough.
I'm just telling you what they are.
So that's 4 of his 8 have been them.
4 of his 8 have been them. Mo's 4 of his 17 or whatever have been them. But like, look, he started the season on fire and has improved almost every single week in the same way that Gravenberch has and Salah has and stuff like that. And he's had a change of position and everything else. I just think he's massively important to what Liverpool have done this season. I think number 2 for me is Ryan Gravenberch. I just don't see how we could be the same side without him. And he's put to bed all the talk about the Zubimendis and everything else, which I just didn't think was possible. It was a bit more like what you were saying. Like, I just didn't see him as a 6-man, and it's brilliant. And number 1 is Mo Salah, and I feel terrible for not including Virgil van Dijk.
Well, this is I'm glad you mentioned Diaz because I was turn this over in my head. If no one said Kelleher, I was going to proffer Kelleher as a suggestion because a bit like Adrian's role in the title-winning season, you can't discount being the understudy for a world-class goalie, and you're not really noticing that he's not there is a really high watermark there. I'm glad Diaz got mentioned because I was going to go. I think the low-hanging fruit options are Van Dijk, Salah, Gravenberch, and sometimes that's fine because it might be fine to go with that. But I think Kelleher deserves a mention. I think Diaz, if Konate hadn't picked up that injury, I think he would be right in there as well. For me, because and for me, my number one pick is Gravenberch. And I'm putting him ahead of Salah and I'm putting him ahead of Van Dijk because of what Chris said there. We already knew Van Dijk was the best defender in the world and Salah was one of the best players on the planet, and they have gone to that level again, and perhaps in Salah's case even improved slightly. We'll never know whether Van Dijk's improved because we just take so much of what he does for granted, and it's so much harder to measure those things. But Gravenberch has gone from effectively 4th or 5th choice midfielder for us to our first name on the team sheet.
Felt like a luxury
midfielder. Yeah. And that is when you consider that Declan Rice cost £100 million and Caicedo cost £115 million and Enzo Fernandez cost £105 million or whatever.
We absolutely eBayed them to fucking shit, didn't we?
Yeah. That's a very niche reference to how Chris refuses to let other people have their cake and eat it on when he's lost
I did it with a pair of Doc Martens the other day. I was like, fucking hell, no, I'll keep going. I got to about 70 quid. I was like, you can have that. I had no interest over 50. I was just driving the price up.
Such a bad human being. Such a bad human being. But to the point, so Van Dijk has maintained value, Salah has maintained value, Gravenberch has gone from being a £20 million midfielder to an £80 to £100 million midfielder in half a season from the performances he's put in, if that's what the going rate is for defensive midfielders. So I've got him as at the top of the pile for me because, again, my expectations versus reality are wildly different. And I think Konate deserves the mention because, again, Gerald Quansah starts the season. Gerald Quansah is in everyone's thinking the better choice as the partner because he's seen as being better on the ball. He's really got everything. He looks like the perfect hybrid between Matip and Van Dijk. And then Ibu comes in and you're like, oh man, yeah, him. That guy, that one from the Champions League final against Real Madrid, that Ibu, yes please. And then every week, without fail, turning up, playing twice a week at that level, go ahead. And he's been desperately unlucky to pick up the injury. I think
playing better than Van Dijk. I think he was
at the time when he got injured. Yeah, I agree.
I think when we won the European Cup, I think Matip was playing better than Van Dijk as well. Van Dijk's consistency is unheralded. But there are spells when the other centre half plays better, and it's because they're playing alongside Virgil van Dijk, of course. Yeah. So disrespect to him, but Konate, look at the goals we've shipped since he's gone out. Joe Gomez is playing brilliantly, and yet we're shipping so many more goals.
Yeah, definitely. There's levels, and that for me, I think Virgil van Dijk is still the bar across world footy for centre halves. So, if we had to do a definitive top 3, I think everyone's got Gravenberch in. Yeah. Has everyone got Salah in?
Yeah. 3 number 1s. He's got, I think, and 1 number 2.
You 2 for Salah?
I didn't go. I would probably go 2 Salah, 3 Van Dijk.
Yeah, we were all 1 for Salah. So Salah's 1 for
Salah. Salah's the number 1.
We were all 2 for Gravenberch. Yeah, you 1 for you.
Gravenberch 2.
And then
we all had a different
mixed. How many people had Van Dijk in there? No one, just me.
No. Just you. I actually wanted to go Kelleher.
Everybody wanted Kelleher, but I said
so it's between Kelleher, Van Dijk, Diaz,
and Gakpo, but I think it's Kelleher.
Gakpo and Konate.
Yeah.
Anyone want to choose that answer for the sake of unification?
I'm happy to go to Kelleher because he was my 4th one, if you like. Yeah,
I like that. Okay, so there we go, definitively, according to the Redmen TV panel here.
Nailed
Top
it.
3 players of the season so far. Player of the season so far is Mohamed Salah, followed by Ryan Gravenberch, followed by Quaveen Kelleher. So well done to those 3.
Who's the most improved?
Prestigious.
Because Gravenberch, right? But Gakpo too, right? He's got to be there or thereabouts.
Well, I don't know, because he was that good when we signed him.
Curtis Jones.
Curtis Jones.
Maybe.
I think I'm seeing more shouts from McAllister. There's more shouts from McAllister in the comments than Jones, and I think Jones has had a better season than McAllister.
I don't know. I think McAllister's key. Absolutely key. And the point we made earlier on about under the radar, sort of rings true with what we're saying here. I think he's one of them players whereby his teammates appreciate what he does more than maybe what the fans do. Like the teammates will be the first to praise him in any circumstance. We don't always notice it necessarily. He doesn't get applauded as the headlines that some of the others might, but he's absolutely integral to us. I maintain that. And yesterday was a real sort of coming to the fore type performance. Next week he'll probably just return to his consistent 8 level out of 10, but he's just absolutely superb.
Curtis Jones, 7 combined goals and assists this season, more than any of the Liverpool midfield.
Yeah, I still think it's McAllister though.
I do.
Over him, just because I just think he has been more important because he's played more minutes, more than anything. On the most improved, there is a shout that it's Salah, based on the back end of last season's form. From going right back to the beginning of the podcast.
Finished?
Oh God!